Hello fans, welcome to Man Utd Transfer HQ. Stay updated with the latest transfer gossip and breaking news.
Todat first news is Marcus Rashford exit could cost Man United £20 million if he leaves permanently this summer. Marcus Rashford looks almost certain to leave Manchester United this summer after joining Aston Villa on loan, but the Red Devils face having to shell out a huge sum to offload him due to his £325,000 a week salary. Manchester United could be forced to pay out £20 million if Marcus Rashford leaves this summer, with the England star facing an uncertain future at Old Trafford. Rashford is currently playing for Aston Villa on loan after falling out with Ruben Amorim at United, and it appears unlikely he will return to his boyhood club in the summer. Villa have an option to sign Rashford permanently for £40 million if his loan deal is a success, but it is unlikely Unai Emery's side would be able to pay his huge salary of £325,000 a week. While United could end up pocketing £40 million for Rashford, the club could end up paying off the rest of his contract to satisfy his demands, which adds up to around £20 million. According to the Daily Mail, that Rashford's current deal at Old Trafford runs until 2028 after he agreed a contract extension in 2023, but honoring that deal looks more and more unlikely after his row with Amorim, who accused the player of not giving the maximum in training. The 27-year-old joined the club aged 7 and has gone on to make 426 appearances for the Red Devils, scoring 138 times. His looming contract situation comes after Sir Jim Ratcliffe gave a candid interview revealing the club's financial difficulties and how they are having to spend millions on player wages and owed transfer fees. Speaking to Gary Neville on The Overlap, he said, "If you look at the players that we will buy this summer that we did not buy, in other words, we're buying Antony this summer. We're buying Jadon Sancho this summer, we're buying Rasmus Højlund, we're buying Casemiro, we're buying Andre Onana. It's not a light switch. In your day, Neville's, you bought a player and that was it. I know that the bill we will pay this summer is £89 million for players that have been signed previously. If we buy no players, we write a check for £89 million this summer." Rashford is among a crop of United stars who are expected to leave this summer in a clear-out that could see as many as 8 senior players axed. Ratcliffe insisted a number of United players were not good enough and overpaid, and the club could now cut their losses on the likes of Casemiro, Mason Mount, Christian Eriksen, Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans, Rasmus Højlund, Jadon Sancho and Tom Heaton. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our second news is Mason Mount handed brutal transfer verdict by ex-Man Utd star. He's a disaster. Mason Mount has been ravaged by injuries since his £60 million move to Chelsea in 2023, missing most of the current season, and ex-Manchester United star Paul Parker has savaged his signing as a disaster. Mason Mount has been branded one of the worst signings ever by former Manchester United star Paul Parker. Mount joined United from Chelsea for £60 million in 2023, but has spent much of the time since injured and unavailable for selection. Parker pulled no punches in his brutal assessment of Mount, claiming the England midfielder's signing had turned out to be a catastrophe, and branded him a disaster. And in a further swipe at Mount, Parker claimed Chelsea would have been ecstatic at getting such a big fee for a player who only had a year left on his contract. "Mason Mount is one of the worst signings ever," said Parker. "Like, in the history of football. It's literally a catastrophe. He's a disaster, and he was that in Chelsea as well, so I can't get my head around why United decided to bring him in. I have always said that I don't know what his best position is. I don't know what he is good at, and even worse, I don't think he knows either. Of course, it is a shame for him that he's always injured, but is he really injured? I don't know, but it seems like he very easily gets in a shape where he can't or doesn't want to play football. That I'm sure he's a good lad. 100%, but he doesn't have the level to play for United, and he is not the only one, I'm well aware of that. He might not even be the biggest problem, but he's just not helping the team, and that's regardless of whether he's playing or not. I hope the club and him can find a solution, because that would be the best for everyone. Chelsea are ecstatic that they managed to get rid of him. They helped him financially, but more than that they got so many players who are not just one level but levels above him. Mount is currently sidelined by a hamstring injury and is not expected back until the end of next month to sum up a difficult season that has seen him start just 4 Premier League games this season. The England international also struggled with fitness issues last season after a calf and hamstring problems kept him out for nearly 5 months, with the player starting only 5 league games of that campaign. He has only managed 33 appearances in all competitions for the Red Devils. Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our third news is Man United target Viktor Gyokeres, picks 3 Premier League teams he wants to join. Manchester United have constantly been linked with a move for Sporting Lisbon striker Viktor Gyokeres, but Ruben Amorim might lose out on a reunion with his former star. Manchester United's hopes of signing Viktor Gyokeres have been hit with a huge blow after revealing the 3 clubs he would sign for. The Swedish striker has been linked with a move to Old Trafford for some time, rumours that have only intensified since Ruben Amorim's arrival at the club. United's distinct lack of goals over the campaign has also led to even more suggestions that the Red Devils need to add to their frontline, but it looks like Gyokeres will not be the man they will sign. According to reports in Portugal, Gyokeres has already named the clubs he would be willing to sign for, and United do not feature. City look unlikely to make a move, with Erling Haaland already at the club, while they also signed Egyptian forward Omar Marmush in January. Sporting Lisbon president Frederico Varandas has already spoken out on Gyokeres' future and refused to confirm whether he could leave in the summer. Speaking in February, he said, "Gyokeres was leaving in the summer, a year ago, a year and a half ago. Gyokeres was going to leave, anyway. We were champions and he was already leaving." He added, "In January it was impossible and it remained so. I'm not going to add to it, it's already very media-driven and it's not worth talking about the summer market." Premier League sides could potentially face competition for his signature. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich and PSG are all touted as potential destinations. Gyokeres, 26, has enjoyed some stunning form for Sporting, having netted 82 goals in 90 appearances since signing from Coventry. But United icon Rio Ferdinand still does not believe he is the right addition for his former club. He said, "I don't think he's the guy. I've not watched him loads, but I've probably watched him 3 times really closely. 3 times I've watched him and I've gone, he ain't getting those opportunities in the Premier League. When I see him physically matched, I don't see it. What else is there? That's the questions I'm asking. Is there enough after he's physically matched to get a goal? Physicality is a massive thing in the game today. A Ruben Amorim team need physicality and runners, but there's no real physicality in this squad. It just isn't there." Stay tuned for more updates on Man Utd Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our last news is PSG star leaves Man Utd and Arsenal with egg on face after Liverpool triumph. Désiré Doué was exceptional from the bench in both legs as Paris Saint-Germain edged past Liverpool on penalties to reach the Champions League quarter-finals. When a mercurial talent like Désiré Doué is summoned from the bench for Paris Saint-Germain, it speaks volumes about the class and quality at Luis Enrique's disposal. The 19-year-old attacking midfielder, who can also operate from the left or right flank, will perhaps feel aggrieved he was unable to earn a starting berth at Anfield following his scintillating second-half cameo at the Parc des Princes 1 week ago. But he will also take great satisfaction from the star role he eventually played in PSG's precious victory as he rifled the winning spot kick beyond Alisson to seal his side's place in the quarter-finals. For the casual fans watching on at home, few will have heard of Doué prior to this memorable two-legged Champions League thriller. But even those that were fond of his eye-catching ability may not recall that he attracted admirers at Manchester United, Arsenal and Tottenham last summer, though that is unlikely to come as a surprise. Last August, PSG pounced to narrowly pip Bayern Munich to Doui's signature, striking a £50 million agreement with Stade Rennes for his signature. The German giants made two sizable offers but were ultimately outbid by the League One champions, who were prepared to move mountains to land their top attacking target, but at the start of the window, United, Arsenal and Spurs had all registered interest in a potential deal but were not willing to pay the cash Stade Rennes desired. The two North London sides in particular were reluctant to engage in the bidding war that later played out between PSG and Bayern, respectively. United scouts were impressed by Doui at Rennes. His underlying attacking numbers had also ranked among the best in Europe for U21 players of his ilk, but Erik ten Hag had other priorities to address. Now, you can't help but feel the 19-year-old would have fit Ruben Amorim's system like a glove as one of the Portuguese's number 10s. Around May, the Gunners are understood to have held exploratory talks with Doui's camp, but they were not alone, as around 6 other clubs had also made contact. Their interest never went beyond those preliminary discussions, however. Meanwhile, Tottenham's admiration for the player was linked to their rather brief pursuit of Aston Villa's Jacob Ramsey. Spurs were open to adding an energetic, goal-scoring midfielder to their ranks and were eyeing a young signing that could also potentially play within their frontline. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Man Utd Transfer HQ, and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop with the latest transfer news and rumors. One more thing, what are your thoughts on these updates? Comment below.